Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. A long time ago at this point, actually, back in April, I made a should you get a PS5 or Xbox Series X, promising to update the video with more, iterations of this kind of video as we got more news. And while we have since then seen Sony's official blowout and Microsoft's one of several, I assume, blowouts on their first party titles, well, we still don't really have as clear of a picture as I had hoped. And we are still left guessing for the price and for the release date of these boxes. But nonetheless, I do think it is time to revisit both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and maybe examine which one you should get on day one. But before we get into everything, I have a video talking about what I think these consoles are going to cost. You can check out my April video, which is going to be more broad and generic. I'm going to be diving into some more details just based on the relative lack of news that we've gotten. So that's free to check out. We're covering all kinds of next-gen stuff. There's a whole next-gen playlist you guys can check out, so consider subscribing. If you like the video, throw us a like, and please let me know now below what you are leaning towards, Xbox Series X or PS5. So let me get this right out of the gate. If you already have a pretty decent PC, and I'm sure if you're a PC owner, you kind of already know this, I would just recommend getting a PS5 because Microsoft is, and I commend them for this, has pretty much promised to bring all of their first-party games over to the PC. So there you go. You get your Microsoft exclusives and your desired third-party games on your PC, and then you got your PS5 for your Sony exclusives. That's the easiest thing to talk about right out of the gate. The next thing I would like to talk about going in line of reasons why you should get a PS5 over an Xbox Series X would be the exclusives that we know of so far compared to Microsoft's exclusives that we know of so far. I personally am leaning closer towards the PlayStation 5 exclusives over the Xbox Series X exclusives, although there is a bit of tweaking that we will talk about. So first of all, the day one exclusive truly is going to come down to preference. You have Spider-Man Miles Morales versus Halo Infinite. However, this is something that we will talk about in just a bit. You could just get Halo on an Xbox One and pick up your PS5 day one. So that's really going to come down to preference. But long-term exclusives, we have games like Horizon Forbidden West. We have more promising Sony IPs like God of War 2 is almost definitely in development. That, however, has not been announced. But the lineup, to me, personally, seems stronger than what Xbox is bringing. Yes, there is State of Decay 3, but in general, it seems like Halo Infinite is the juggernaut that Microsoft is going to launch with first. So for exclusives, based on what we've seen on first-party Microsoft and first-party PlayStation 5 games, I would lean with PlayStation 5. One caveat against the Microsoft exclusives also is at least they have, the messaging is going back and forth, but they seem to be claiming that first-party exclusives will be coming to both the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X. So to me, that means that they're going to be releasing games that aren't truly next-gen, which isn't a bad thing. But I think if you want a true next-gen first-party experience, you should lean PlayStation 5. And I mean, apart from that, I would leave that at reasons to buy the PlayStation 5, personally. I think the exclusives are truly killer. I am currently leaning in the PS5 boat. Let's talk about some reasons against the Xbox Series X and then talk about some pros for the Xbox Series X. Right off the bat, we've already kind of danced around this point, but Xbox Series X, especially the day one killer app, Halo Infinite, that is coming out on the Xbox One. So if you're kind of up in the air between what to get and you already have an Xbox One, or you could just get an Xbox One for very cheap at this point, or you already have a half-decent PC, you can just buy Halo Infinite day one, buy your PlayStation 5 on day one, play your Sony exclusives, your next-gen games on that, and enjoy Halo Infinite on an older platform. And then, maybe when the Series X drops in price in a while, you can pick one of those up. But if you're really in it for Halo, there's other ways to play Halo, and I'm going to commend that. Just going to commend that. but it is something to think about. Another kind of maybe knock against the Xbox Series X is I'm going to assume that it will be a bit more expensive, only because it is more powerful spec-wise than the PlayStation 5. If they come out being the same price, then actually this would twist into a Pro for the Xbox Series 1. Speaking of pros for the Xbox Series 1, though, the first I would say is Game Pass. I've made a whole video about this, but there's almost no way to knock it. All first-party games are coming to Game Pass for Xbox One, and on day one, right now, if you want to play Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, you have to buy the console, you have to buy a PlayStation 4, and then you have to buy the $60 copy of The Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima. Xbox Game Pass, you get all of their exclusives day one, and your first month of Game Pass is $1, and then it goes up to what I would say is a very reasonable price to have access to literally over 100 games. I think Game Pass is Microsoft's exclusive going forward. So if you care about having a large library of decent to very, very quality games for a lower price, Game Pass might be the right thing for you. The next would be Smart Delivery. And this is unfortunately pretty much just for people who already own an Xbox One, but a lot of Xbox games that you buy for your Xbox One will automatically transfer and be upgraded to your Series X for free. If you buy Cyberpunk 2077 and play it on the Xbox One for a couple days, we don't know the release dates of these, so you might have a solid month of Cyberpunk 2077 on your Xbox One. Then when you get your Series X, you'll get a free upgrade, basically. And that's occurring for many third and first party titles. Smart Delivery. That is a pro for Xbox Series X. And yeah, other than that, I think that's where we're landing right now. This was a shorter video. I didn't really want to dive into speculation. So, I mean, the hard facts are, if you already have a PC or you already have an Xbox One, I would consider going PS5 day one. If you don't own a console right now, or the console you own is a PlayStation 4, and you're finding that you're not getting to play as many games as you'd like, I would consider going Xbox Series X day one with the promise of being able to play tons of games on Game Pass. Literally starting day one, you'll have a large catalog. Even if they are older games, you'll still have access to those. But yeah, that's all for me, guys. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time.